So now let's discuss deciles of ungrouped data. For our objectives, we have number 1, illustrate deciles. Number 2, calculate a specified decile of a set of data. Number 3, interpret a decile. And number 4, solve problems involving deciles. So what do we mean by deciles? So there are 9 deciles denoted by d sub 1, d sub 2, d sub 3, to d sub 9. So which partition the data into 10 groups, about 10% of the data in each group. So the deciles are the 9 score points that divide a distribution into 10 equal parts. So they are computed in the same way that the quartiles are calculated. So here we have 10 equal parts. So here, this is the first decile, or the d sub 1. This is the d sub 2, or the second decile. D sub 3, the third decile. D sub 4, the fourth decile. D sub 5, the fifth decile. D sub 6, sixth decile. D sub 7, seventh decile. D sub 8, eighth decile. And D sub 9, ninth decile. So what are the steps in finding the deciles of ungrouped data using linear interpolation? So number 1, arrange the scores in ascending order. So that's the first step. Second, locate the position of the score in the distribution. So using this formula, the position of decile is equal to kn all over 10 plus 1/2. So where k here is equal to 1 if you are looking for the first decile, k is equal to 2 if you are looking for the second decile, k is equal to 3 if you are looking for the third decile, and so on, and n is equal to the number of scores. And last step, interpolate the value. So let us have this example. Find the fourth decile, or the d sub 4, and fifth decile, d sub 5, of the given data. 22, 20, 27, 14, 12, 9, 27, 4, 13, 28, 17, 37, 16, 7, 11, and 13. So first, to find the fourth decile, or the d sub 4, arrange the scores in ascending order. So here, the scores here is already arranged in ascending order. Second, locate the position of the score in the distribution. So that is, using this formula, the position of the decile is equal to kn over 10 plus 1/2. Our k here is equal to 4 since we are looking for the fourth decile. So that is, d sub 4 is equal to 4n over 10 plus 1/2. So our n is 16 since we have here 16 scores. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14, 15, 16. So using this formula, 4n over 10 plus 1/2, we just have to substitute n. That's 4 times 16 over 10 plus 1/2. And that is 6.9. And for the last step, interpolate the value. So these are now the steps of interpolation for the first one. Since using the formula in finding the position of the fourth decile, we obtained 6.9. And 6.9 is in between 6 and 7. Here, we are going to subtract the 6th data from the 7th data. So the 6th data is 13, the 7th data is 13. So that is 13 minus 13, that is 0. Next, multiply the result, this 0, by the decimal part obtained in the step 2 position of D4. So in the step 2, we obtained there 6.9. So the decimal part there is 0.9. So that is, we are going to multiply this 0 times 0.9, and that is 0. And finally, add the result in step B, this 0, to the sixth data or the smaller value, which is 13. So that is 13 plus 0 is equal to 13. So therefore, the fourth decile is 13. So how do we interpret this? That is, 40% of the students spent at most 13 hours answering their module in 1 week, and or 60% of the students spent at least 13 hours in answering their module in 1 week. So now let's find the fifth decile or the D sub 5. Note that the D5 or the fifth decile is the median. So the steps are, first, arrange the scores in ascending order. So these scores here are already arranged in ascending order. Next, locate the position of the score in distribution. So here we will use the formula. The position of the decile is equal to kn over 10 plus 1 half. So our k here is equal to 5 since we are looking for the fifth decile. So that's d sub 5 is equal to 5n over 10 plus 1 half. And our n here is 16 since the number of scores here is 16. So that is 5 times 16 over 10 plus 1 half, that is 8.5. And last step, interpolate the value. So these are the steps of interpolation for the number 1. So since using the formula and finding the position of the fifth quartile, we obtained 8.5, and 8.5 is in between 8 and 9. We are going to subtract the 8th data from the 9th data. So that is 16 minus 14 is equal to 2. Then multiply the result, this 2, by the decimal part obtained in step 2. So we obtained there 8.5, and the decimal point here is 0.5. So that is 2 times 0.5 is equal to 1. And for the last step, add the result in step B, this 1, to the 8th data or the smaller value, to 14. So that is 14 plus 1 is equal to 15. So therefore, our fifth decile is equal to 15. So notice here that the D5 or the median is the average of the two middle scores since n is even.